Hey everyone, it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. And what better way to get down, Sam, than with some wrestling news?
But which seat will I take?
You could kick it in the front seat. No, you could sit in the front seat or kick it in the back.
It's not really a front, there's a right or left seat, and you're in the right one, so I'm assuming I've just had to take the left.
Even on Rebecca Black's music video, there's only one free seat. She's just, and she says at one point as well, my friend is on my right, but she's got another friend to her left who's just like...
I think she should maybe, I would have loved to have seen her kick somebody out of that. Anyway, let's get on with the news.
Let's get on with all of Friday morning's wrestling news. Oh, I don't know what that was, I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
First of all, it looks as though SmackDown Live could be moving to 3 hours. Next up, a key Backstage WWE figure has recently quit the company. And finally, there's been another unannounced roster change in the aftermath of the Superstar shakeup. So, first of all, it's been widely reported because last night WWE had one of their earnings calls.
Okay.
Featuring all the big dogs, Vince McMahon, George Barrios, the co-president.
Right.
And it was in fact Barrios who said something in response to a question that's kind of sparked rumours that SmackDown could be moving to 3 hours.
Ooh,
just like Raw.
That's big.
Obviously, this will be when they move over to Fox in the sort of the autumn or the fall later this year, if you're American, because they call it fall. Barrios was asked the question of what direction they'd be going with SmackDown Live, and he said that the company has been used to monetizing 6 hours of content for a long time, but the 6th hour is 205 Live.
Right.
He said, but the 6th hour is usually on the network.
Yeah.
He said that they'll decide in the next several months how to use this 6th hour, which could mean, because it was in response to a question about SmackDown, it could mean that they just stick it on the end of SmackDown Live.
It could mean that, but I mean, he's quite open with that. Like, it could mean that, say, NXT is going to get a TV deal.
It could do as well.
And stay at 1 hour, so I don't know.
It could mean... Yeah. It could mean anything, but I think the reason that it sparked such rumours is because it was in response to a question about SmackDown.
Yeah, the whole thing is it's relating to SmackDown. Everybody knows SmackDown's moving to Fox, and I think if they were going to even try and make it longer, then it makes sense to do that when it moves to a new network, like new beginning, new network, new length of the show. Definitely.
I think I've read in Wrestling Inc.'s summary of it that I think it was Raj Giri from Wrestling Inc. and he seemed to suggest that if this does happen, they're going to have the 3rd hour on like FS1, because you can't have a 3 hour show on Fox because it would clash with like news or something like that. There's something that it would logistically be unable to work around, but I'm not entirely certain about that detail. But I think that's what he was implying. So I don't know if it'll be a separate show from SmackDown.
I guess it could start an hour earlier, but I don't know again if that would clash with news. Because obviously we have the 6 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news. So I don't know if America has set times that would clash.
Maybe. I'm not entirely certain. But anyway, Vince McMahon also spoke on the whole Fox deal and said that the company will... Well, it's implied that he's talking about that because he said the company will have a whole new beginning this fall. He said it's going to kick us into... It's going to kick us into an element we've never seen before in terms of promotion with everything. Talent, storylines, you name it. So it does seem like there's going to be a bit of a... I don't know if a rebrand's the right... Like an overhaul.
Yeah, sort of like an overhaul. It's not exactly a reboot. It's not exactly a rebrand. It's not like WCW when, they decided, let's just strip everybody and start again. I think it's very much going to be a complete overhaul. Sort of like when we got SmackDown Live for the first time and we had the different camera angles and we had all that stuff. I think that was that felt so different at the time. Yeah. And obviously, as time went on, it sort of changed and changed and changed. But, I think, if we're going to a new network, then... We should have a whole new feel to it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But if it goes 3 hours, could it run into some of the same issues as Raw? Maybe.
Possibly, yeah. It's just, I guess, it's one of the things we're gonna have to find out. But I'm loving this idea that SmackDown could be a completely different wrestling experience.
Me too. Yeah, I think it'll be good. Let's wait and see. Next up, a key backstage road agent in WWE has recently quit the company, according to Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated. Now, I always do take Barrasso's stories with a pinch of salt because I believe it was him who, a year ago, was adamant that it was going to be Mysterio versus Cena at WrestleMania, and then it just totally wasn't, and everyone was like, Barrasso, silly. But this story seems to be a lot more based on fact than speculation. He says that Dean Malenko has quit WWE, and I think the key word there is quit rather than retired. It was implied later on in the Sports Illustrated piece that there's been no word yet on what Malenko's got planned for the future, but a natural landing spot for him would be All Elite Wrestling because of his skill set and his style. And because of what year it is. Everybody leaves any job in wrestling. Very true. Going to AEW. But I think Dean Malenko,
obviously one of the most naturally gifted wrestlers of all time. I'm assuming he's a fantastic road agent because he's got such a mind for the business.
Apparently he's really good at planning out matches for shorter guys.
Really?
As well, yeah.
Well, I mean, he was always sort of one of the undersized guys.
Yeah, and especially in the Attitude Era.
But that was one of my favourite things about him was like you'd take that for granted with him. Yeah. You'd have guys like Sid would take it for granted, and it's just like, no, he'll tie you in knots.
Yeah.
And
Sid? Oh, is this WCW?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I was thinking like Radicals era, but yes, but he was great in both.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we missed Backstage.
Yeah, do you think it could be in relation to Arn?
Maybe.
Because obviously they must know each other quite well from the years they've worked in the same companies.
That's potentially true.
But I just don't know, maybe he just wants something new.
There seems to have been a bit of a changing of the guard in terms of road agents and production staff and stuff, because Malenko's out now. Arn obviously got sacked.
Road Dogg isn't writing anymore.
Road Dogg stepping down from writing, and then they've brought in like Abyss and Sanjay Dutt from Impact.
Yeah.
A couple more people as well. I can't quite remember, but Dana Warrior on creative and stuff. So it seems like generally there's been a bit of a shift in and out that's sort of happened in a kind of loose fashion. It hasn't been like we'll get rid of all the team and bring in a whole new team. It's just been more like people have been dropping out. They've been plugging the gaps with other established names, and it's like it's quite an interesting one. But I do feel as though, well, I imagine, this is pure speculation, but I imagine that Malenko was probably quite good as a road agent. He had like a great technical grasp of wrestling and psychology and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what he does next. But just because it says here that All Elite Wrestling's a natural landing place for him doesn't necessarily mean that it is.
No, but I could see him doing wonderful things with that company. With it being brand new, with it being sort of an upstart company as well. Yeah. I think... Yeah.
He could resume his rivalry with Chris Jericho from back in 90.
Could you imagine they got him back for one match? I'd kill to see Malenko wrestle again.
Now next up, the Superstar Shake-Up is all officially said and done, but you may have noticed that in the case of certain superstars like Jinder Mahal or the Singh brothers, there's been a few little sneaky shake-ups that haven't been part of the official Superstar Shake-Up. They've just sort of pretended that it's happened all along. They've been
it did happen all along.
Well, okay, all right, if you say so. There's been another one. Another two superstars, actually. Another tag team has been sneakily shifted from one section of WWE.com to the other, as noticed by Wrestling Inc. And it's the B team.
B team,
go. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are now officially part of the SmackDown Live roster.
Yeah.
Obviously former Raw Tag Team Champions, but after the shake-up with like the Usos and the Revival both on Raw, I think the SmackDown Tag Division is now the one that needs a bit more bolstering, so I can see why they may have gone across.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You need depth in all of your divisions, so it makes sense to move a team like that over.
Yes.
And particularly a team that's been on, I guess, sort of a cool-down period for a little bit. See what we can do with them on a different brand.
I was excited to see them reunite with The Miz, because he was on Raw. I thought, The Miz Taraj, but no, not happening. Interestingly, well, first of all, the move apparently isn't that much of a surprise, because in a dark match on Tuesday for SmackDown, they lost to Heavy Machinery, so they were there at SmackDown.
Yeah.
And also, WWE have apparently, this is very strange, filed to trademark B Team University earlier this week. It is not known how the term will be used for the team.
I really hope we're going to get a Dean Douglas style segment.
Where
they're just like teaching people stuff.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just not, because when I think of the B Team and their theme tune and everything, I'm worried that it's going to be the Spirit Squad. Like sort of thing, like go. But
it is sort of a fight song that they come out to, isn't it? Yeah.
But if anyone can make anything funny, I find Bo Dallas really, really funny.
That, and just look at Bo Dallas's eyes and how they'll glisten in the blue light of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Such a sensual looking man.
That's what you need. Another alumni thing that was noticed as well. Another alumni thing. I've spotted what I was going to say. Another roster shift on WWE.com is that Dean Ambrose has been moved to the alumni section.
It's all a work.
Do you still think it's a work?
Still think it's a work.
Do you think it's a work?
Still think it's a work.
Wow.
Still think it's a work.
What do you think the payoff is?
I don't know.
Right.
Dean Ambrose turning mega heel.
Okay.
Or something.
Right.
But I think it's going to be just some time off and then a big, massive return when he's needed most.
I think he might just be... I don't even think he might be going All Elite now. I think he might just be, see ya.
Just done.
And then he'll come back to the Indies, because the wrestlers can never escape.
Yeah, they can never escape.
It's too much of a gets under your skin. Yeah, exactly. And finally, we've included it last because it's a story about Backstage Heat. And to be honest, personally, I feel as though Backstage Heat stories lack a little bit of credibility at times, because
It's all he said, she said stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes
you're never ever going to get a fair side from a source unless you have multiple sources on multiple sides of the argument.
But to be fair, this person has been reported on as having heat before. We just don't know if it's the same source or not. It's one of Meltzer's sources. It's via the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Apparently, Lio Rush has more heat backstage. Obviously, there was that whole time when Emma got released.
Yeah.
And then he tweeted like
something like insensitive.
Guess you weren't ready for Asuka because she just lost Asuka.
Yeah.
And then everyone, and I thought that was like a dick move.
Yeah.
But then everyone obviously couldn't wait to jump on him because everyone was just like.
And he was brand new at the time.
And he
just got to NXT.
Yeah. And everyone was just jumping all over him. And then it was Regal, he was like the cool head and was like, look, instead of just jumping all over this like young man, why don't we all just, help him improve?
Talking about it at the time, it was like NXT is the place where you should be allowed to make those kinds of mistakes.
I guess
and
so.
Never make them again. It should still be like a strike system. Like, if you're going to keep doing it, you're going to get in trouble. But like, you have to learn how to handle yourself, and a big part of wrestling is being able to handle yourself professionally, and I guess you do need the chance to make that sort of mistake.
Well, this time his mistake is a little bit more vague. Now, apparently he's made it very clear to many people within the company that he thinks he should be the top guy on the brand. I was like, whoa, yeah, if he'd said the top guy on 205 Live or something, but...
Oh, he's already the top guy on 205 Live for a while.
He's very, very talented.
Yeah.
Very good. I think he's a very good wrestler, and I think we've kind of forgot that because he's mainly been in a managerial role.
Yeah.
But when you like watch his old indie stuff, or whenever he's had a chance, as you say, to have a match on 205 Live, he's been really, really good.
God, yeah.
But the top guy on the brand seems to imply that he thinks he's sort of more over than he actually is.
Yeah. It's pretty intense, that.
Well, Meltzer noted he's a very confident man, which could rub people the wrong way, even though that's what it takes to be a star in the business. Well, you do occasionally meet wrestlers who have a certain single-mindedness, and they're just like, I'm the best and I'm going to prove it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's great, but before they've actually achieved that, it can come across as quite arrogant and quite kind of abrasive.
The thing is, it can sort of rub you the wrong way when you first meet them, and then afterwards you sort of like... You understand that it's just sort of a driven nature, and maybe they didn't realise exactly how it came out of their mouth.
Then again, we're not wrestlers. Yeah. If I was in a WWE locker room and I was trying to be the best, and some guy comes in going, I'm the best, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What you do?
You'd be a little bit like, you can't go on like that. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't know. Anyway, but there's no word yet on what the heat will mean for Rush's career, but Meltzer has noted that he wasn't actually with Bobby Lashley for this week's Raw Dark main event in Des Moines, Iowa, so usually he would be.
He just couldn't take the Lashley pose anymore.
No.
That was it.
Rush did do a post on social media. He tweeted, which may have been about it. It feels like it was about it.
Yeah.
It was quite long, but I've included one snippet of it, which is, the fact of the matter is that I love what I do and have been in love with the dreams of being in the current position that I'm in now since I was 5 years old. The fact of that he did too, the fact of the matter is, but we'll let that slide. The fact of the matter is I am a young, hungry and humble husband and father of 2 boys who believes in himself more than anybody will ever believe in me. So it seems to be about more of a self-belief kind of thing, at least according to this tweet, which is fair enough, but I wouldn't suggest... A young and hungry, absolutely. Humble, I don't know if he's particularly humble from the sounds of it, but you've got to believe in yourself, Leo. Go on, mate. I don't know actually.
I don't know.
It's a bit of a messy story.
Yeah, it is. But it's backstage news, and you never know whether it's true or not.
That's
Only
true.
the people that are there know for certain.
Yeah.
And sources are sources, and sources are going to have one side of the argument if they're even telling the truth at all at times.
If Meltzer's source doesn't like him, then he'll be like, great, let's nail him. And if Meltzer's source does like him, he might even have played it down.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
But yeah, that was the news.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.